All right, guys. Let me start off by stating that almost everything I'm about to discuss is based on the assumption, right, that the current Switch 2 rumors are indicative of an upcoming announcement by Nintendo or like confirmation of the next generation console by Nintendo. Okay, and I personally believe that this is going to happen. But we all know, we've been around. The internet is full of tricksters and clout chasers. So when speculating, you got to keep yourself in check. All right, you have to have a real "don't give me hope" Hawkeye mentality, if you know what I mean. So that being said, here's why I personally am psyched at the prospect of what the Switch's game announcements could look like for the remainder of 2024 or early 2025 if the Switch 2 is on the horizon. All right, so those in the Nintendo gated community have been living in the worst possible purgatory for years in regards to the Switch successor. It's just been a near constant and really consistent trickle of leaks, rumors, and quote unquote insider knowledge that's left us speculating when Nintendo will even acknowledge that this machine exists or when it will be released into the wild, right? And with the latest batch of leaks regarding, things like backwards compatibility, Joy-Con architecture, dock design, it was it was weird for me because rather than getting hyped about what this future console could be, I was really looking forward to what I can expect on my current system. Because honestly, I really am psyched at the prospect of first-party Nintendo releases from the upcoming year being largely ports and remakes. Now look, I totally acknowledge that remakes, remasters, ports are a very safe option for Nintendo and can come off as a little less than exciting for its user base. But for me, I would much rather the company put their focus and their energy and their drive into innovating for their next gen games, you're right, rather than continue to pour those resources into the Nintendo Switch, when it would be much easier, much less resource intensive, to move previously released titles onto this system. Okay. And honestly, I think my viewpoint is being validated. So in 2023, we saw 4 remakes, remasters, ports released by Nintendo, right? That was Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, Pikmin 1+2, and Super Mario RPG. And those were released throughout the year and were considered kind of a nice break in the release schedule, right? Now, looking at 2024, the first half of the year, we've had 6 confirmed releases from Nintendo, which is standard. And of those 6, only 2 are brand new titles, right? So in the first 6 months of the year, Nintendo has matched the amount of remakes dropped over the entire previous year. And I'm 100% here for it. All these were titles that I haven't played previously. All these, and I admit subjectively, can be considered a low commitment experience, right? Whether this is based on how much time it takes to beat the game or difficulty of gameplay, whatever. After coming off a gaming whirlwind, as it were, like 2023, I appreciate the break. The remakes and remasters that have released this year, I've had a really good time with appreciating what they currently are and where they came from. And if the rest of this year is just a solid stream of faithful or even innovative recreations of previously released titles, I know for me that I can happily play these games knowing or believing, I guess, that the bulk of Nintendo's creative forces are at work on the next system and its games. So all that to say, I'm not really here to speculate on what a year one Switch 2 lineup could look like. This discussion is really more focused on what the Switch has left to offer versus what we can hope to see in the next generation system. But, if you want to hear my thoughts on the Switch 2, leave a comment down below. Nothing I love more than speculating on video games. But, if the Nintendo Switch is being set up to have just a really broad library of games, between NSO offerings, new first-party titles that have released over the years on this system, and now just a ton of ports and remakes and remasters. I think I'm in a position right now to have fun hearing about Switch 2 leaks and rumors, listening to those discussions, but also just being mentally present with the system I currently have. So until that Switch 2 is announced and its lineup is teased, I know that I can just sit back and relax with my Switch and savor the titles that I missed out on, that I can now play comfortably on what I now know to be my favorite system of all time. I feel like this went on way longer than what I wanted, and it's definitely more rambly, but if you stuck around to this point, I really appreciate it. Let me know, do you think that the final year of the Switch, if this is it, that we're going to see this console be loaded up with more ports and remakes and remasters? And, if so, do you think that's acceptable? Is that something that you want out of a last year for this system? Or do you think Nintendo is going to bring the same level of innovation and ingenuity and creativity to the last year of the Switch, while they're also prepping to launch the next one? Just let me know. If you can, YouTube shill, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We always appreciate the engagement we receive here. As always, folks, I am Andrew Bolkar, and I will see you next time.